Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we will be looking at racing today from the Vaal, the 1st of September 2020. For those persons who are watching this video for the first time, just a little bit of information how Outside of Genie operate. Outside of Genie is not a tipping service per se. What we do is I do a form analysis, and by doing the form analysis, I then select certain horses, outsiders, that you can add into with your numbers that you like, and thereby, if those outsiders do arrive, whether they win or place, you will then collect the higher dividend. Because ultimately, this is what racing is about. You want to get those big payouts. You cannot make money on favorites. So everybody is looking for that one or two horses that will boost the dividend in order to collect the better payment and go home with a smile on your face after that day's races. So we are posting this video every day. So if you want to get notified, just click the subscribe button and ring the bell. And every day that we post this video, you'll be notified when it's available, and then you can listen to our selections. This is a free service. We are also on Twitter and Instagram, and also there are our contact details: 083 585 5133. Um, just some special offers we have for you. If you would like to get our more advanced selections, not just on a video, but also the numbers that you can play, you can subscribe to our daily form analysis. Our normal package is 500 Rand a month, but I am giving you guys some grace. So if you sign up now or before on the 5th of September, you can get this package till the end of September for 400 Rand, which I think is great value. Or if you want to subscribe to our service on a long-term basis, you can subscribe now till the end of December. The amount would then be 1,200 Rand, where you normally would have paid 200 Rand. So therefore, you have a saving of 200 Rand per month on the package. So what do we offer? We offer you a race by race selection. We give you an outright winner. That is the horse that I think can win the race. And I have given outright winners as high as 53 to 1, which actually did one. Whirly is a case in point the other day on the Vaal. That was 50 to 1 in the early opening betting, and I selected that as my outright winner. And then I also give you two possible outsider selections. That is selections that I think I can either win or place outside the selections. I give you value bets. That is bets that you can take on an each way basis. So if the horse doesn't win, you still take the place and you can still walk away with a profit. Then I give you best bets of the day. I don't always give you I don't give you odds on 8 to 10 or 9 to 10 or even money, because that you can find yourself. But I look for value, and I have given some best bets of the day as high as 6 to 1. On the 21st of July, I gave this horse Express from the USA, and that was 13 to 2 at the time of my selection. He won by 4 lengths. And as a matter of fact, he has won after that again. And then I give you suggested trifecta, so quartet selections. You can play as is or use some of my numbers with a combination of your numbers. That is your choice. And we have had some huge payouts on those. Also the same with the PA and pick 6. I give you the numbers. You decide when to play as is or use some of my numbers, put it in yours, and you then make up your own permutation. Just to show you, when you do subscribe, this is the way that will be presented. I will add you to my paid WhatsApp group, and every day you will receive a PDF of one page with all the selections, your race by race selections, your pick 6, your PA, your trifecta quartet, your best bet and value bets, and then I give you a small patent. The patent is the same as a Yankee, but the patent is just three horses with 4 combination. All right, let's now get on to the business of the day. And we start off race 1. Work Riders Maiden over 1,000 meters. We're racing from the Vaal Classic track. So just keep that in mind. Well, let's have a look at the betting. The betting is as follows. Showdown Kit 11 to 10. Ashanti 11 to 2. Love of London 6 to 1. Turner's Choice 6 to 1. Winter Mission 6 to 1. Those are all first timers, so you need to watch that. Then you get 17 to 2 on Buffalo Bonky. Karen B 25 to 1. Vars J 6 to 1. 66 to 1, and Avolda 66 to 1. So let's have a look at the form. So here we have number 1, Shadow Kid. Shadow Kid has improved. I know Shadow Kid is very well bred. I know Shadow Dancing, she's thrown quite a few number of good horses. This horse took his time to improve, but it's now his third run after the race. Last time went down a quarter length to a Gypsy Woman. The same jockey was also in the Work Riders. But my choice for this race is number 2, Ashanti. Ashanti, an ex-Cape horse, now in Gauteng, has had 2 runs since the break. And the reason why I'm going is just because of the jockey. This jockey, T. Raleigh, for those of you who don't know, this jockey used to be in the academy, but for some other reason he never completed. And I can tell you he's a very competent rider. So thereby, just because of that, I'm selecting Ashanti because of the rider. In Karen B is the rider of Karen Visser. This horse can place, put it in the back end of your quartets, have run a few decent races here and there, and can definitely be involved in the finish. Vaal will pass by, Volda will pass by. So here we have Love of London, a 4-year-old. Mabaya riding, also a very competent rider, making his debut. Please watch this horse. Then here I've got number 7, Buffalo Bonkin. Now, Buffalo Bonkin last week ran. The horse was 75 to 1. I put on $20 on the horse, and it ran third. I think 2 lengths behind. I'll just check it. Now it found itself in the Work Riders. So don't discard this horse because the last race doesn't show it. He ran third, and he ran a much improved race. I was watching it. So definitely this horse is improved. Klinda Binda's horses sometimes can improve quickly. They've got no form, and then they start showing form, and then they win. Here we have a Coupe de Graafely. It looks like the 1 or 2 has now won, and it looks like he's also going to be a stallion that's going to be worth your while to follow. So maybe to throw into your quartets. And with Paul Peter, it's always a dangerous, because he can win with first timers. So follow Wintermees and put in your quartets. Then we move down to race number 2, which is also a maiden plate over 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have the betting number 5, Pinda Mazala, 11 to 10, Almost Winter 4 to 1, 7 to 1, Jet Cat, Lazy Guy 7 to 1, 10 to 1, National Liberty 18 to 1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look here. Jet Cat did improve last time and run 4th behind Mike's Pride, so do include in the back end of your quartets. The same goes for Racing Man. Racing Man, sometimes he runs a better race, sometimes he runs a bad race, but can be included in your quartets. Sunbirds, the same. There's just older horses, been hard knockers. They can actually, some of them can actually win anytime. The other day we had this horse from France's, Romantica or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. He had about 200 races, and then all of a sudden he won. And then the same day, another horse won. I can't remember the name now. Al Biscuit. So they are always dangerous. They can win anytime. But my choice in this race is number 5, Pinda Masala. Has been running well, has been improving, getting the -2.5, drawn 1, and I do think this horse will definitely be a contender at the finish. National Liberty is also improving. Had a very nice introduction, ran 2nd, and then in a juvenile, and then I don't know what happened here. Lost it away a little bit, but is now getting the -4. Can be involved in the finish. Here we have number 7, almost Winter. Mike the Cock, first timer. Watch for betting. Mike the Cock knows how to prepare a horse. Can bring a horse to win first time out. So watch that one. Now let's move on to race number 3. Race number 3 is a Forest Mares handicap 84, Class C, merit rating, average merit rating 80. Let's have a look at the betting. For me, a very open race, but let's have a look at the betting. 72, Tahita Orana, Pretty Border 15 to 4, Strada Stabile 9 to 2, Solar Wood 9 to 2, X and O's 5 to 1. 5 to 1 Java House, and then 14 to 1 Smiley River. So as you can see in the betting, a very open race. About any of these horses do have a chance, but my selection is number 2, Pretty Border. Pretty Border has run against some decent horses in the Ronnie's Candy, 4 lengths behind Ronnie's Candy. You put Ronnie's Candy in this field, she'll murder them by 10 lengths, I'm sure of that. Jetstar also, Jetstar has one of 4 or 5 good races. Factory 50. Fletchery by Vaal was placed in the Gold Cup over the weekend. Secret Poison, Chariot of Gold. So definitely a horse now down in class. Simon's on board, and I'm expecting number 2 to run quite well. Other horses we can have a look at. Yeah, the only horse that well, you can take a chance and leave it out if you can, but if you can afford it, do include this horse in your pick six, because before a break is made and he runs some decent races, but then last time, the last 2 races, I mean, even if you look there behind Summer Pudding, and there he ran in a Class C, now he's the Class C 80, there was a 82. So maybe even if you can want to put the field in your pick six in this race. Status Story was placed last week, can run on again, but hasn't done the 18, has done this distance three times over the 1600 meters, but has only been placed for a 3rd and a 4th. So, but also in with a chance. Solo Whip, straight on Romeo Francis, the old combination. He likes to win for Romeo. This horse also not out of a chance. Yeni on X and O's, also in with a chance. Java House, it's now the first time it's going over the 61 meters, but only carrying 52.5. It's a par 4 by Silvanome. The distance shouldn't be a problem. Also in with a chance. Here we are at race number 4, merit rated 60 handicap, Class D, average merit rating 67. Let's have a look at the betting. We have number 2, Precious Stone, 17 to 10, 53 to 1, Windy Flight, Star Flash, 6 to 1, 7 to 1, Alex the Great, Pearl of Siberia, 9 to 1, Mr. Yuga, 12 to 1, Lieutenant's Dream, 16 to 1, 25 to 1, and longer the rest. Yes, here we have number 2, Precious Stone. Precious Stone last week ran second to, what is that horse's name? I'll tell you now. He ran second, Spanish Boy. Number 2 was looking to win the race, and then that Spanish Boy came from nowhere and he won by 3 lengths. But a lot of these horses finished behind him in that race, and I do think today at Precious Stone, Gavin Arena on board today, best bet on the card. Pearl of Siberia was behind number 2, Precious, but I do give it a chance. And with the -2, can definitely be a contender. Bridge of Spies, put in the back end of your quartets, as was Mr. Hugo. Yeah, this horse showed some promise early in his career, but hasn't, improved to go on, but can surprise on the day. Rani is an ex-Kimberley horse, not today in this field. Also, here, maybe you can have a look at number 8, the Turner's Dream, only getting carrying 52. Put it in last time, was falling behind, blowing me down. So, has won over this distance. So, do include in the back end of your quartets. Here we have Windy Flight, Lyle Hewitson. This horse can finish well. It did ran 4 lengths behind Spanish Boy. So, definitely a contender in this field. Yes, Alex the Great, I've given up on Alex the Great. I've followed it so many times, always to be disappointed. So last time I ran 8 lengths behind Precious Stone, so I can't see it turning around even with the apprentice allowance. So let's move to race number 5, which is a maiden handicap. Here's the betting. Number 1, a Flame 15 to 2. Charming Lass 2 to 1, Courage 5 to 1, Liverpool Legend 6 to 1, 25 to 1, and longer the rest. It only looks like there's only a few horses with chances, and I want to duly someone to go right down to number 5. Now, here's number 5 is a Flower Alley by Al Maftimi. Last time out, this horse, it shows you 28 to 1. This horse at one stage was 50 to 1, Corsage. And I said in my preview, this horse will run a better race because of the fact that you will appreciate the longer distance, and that duly happened. And now today it's carrying 50.5, where some of these horses in this field, if you look at the top horses in this field, 61.5. It is quite a big difference in weight, and I do think that number 5, Corsage, have a very good chance on winning this race based on the weight he's carrying. And I do believe that this horse is improving, and therefore for me, Couchage is quite a big select. I'm quite big on Couchage today. Here we have number one, a flame. A flame, yes, you have, still have to run the distance, but the way it finished here, fastest 400 to finish Musieni riding today, I do think that will be it. Also bred as an Irish flame. I do not think it will have a problem with the distance, but the only problem is it's giving away a 61.5 to, and this horse is carrying 50 and a half. It's carrying, giving away 10 kilograms to number 5, and that could be a telling factor. They say weight stops a train. Yes, Charming Lass, he went to the front over the 2000, faded a bit, so maybe over the short 1800 can be a contender. Liverpool Legend, also been running well there and thereabouts, can also be involved in the finish. It's also a coup de grace filly. Yeah, then the other ones I'm not going to discuss. I don't think that they've got a form to bother those top three or four. So let's move on to race number 6, which is another maiden handicap over 1800 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Number 1, Soldier Song, 22 to 10. Tricky Business, 4 to 1. Fort Love, 4 to 1. Zula Must Stoop, 7 to 1. Custom Made, 8 to 1. 14, number 5, Royal Seats, 14 to 1. 16 to 1, Turf Master, and 18 to 1, and longer the rest. So here in race number 6, my first choice is number 4. Number 4 is Fort Love. Now, Fort Love is carrying 57. Last time out with the 57, behind Summer Dude, was running on strongly, third fastest to 400, and this horse is improving, and I do believe it has got a very huge chance to win in this race. And also a horse that you need to include into your play is this 5, Royal Siege. It's also already a 21 run maiden, but only carrying 56.5. Has been showing flashes of, that it can run. Last time out behind Drummer Dude was the fastest 400 to finish. So definitely a horse that you need to include. Just have a look at one or two of the other ones. Soldier Song, definitely inclusion, carrying 60, but can win in this race, but was beaten by a maiden last time with absolutely no form. So that puts his ability in doubt a little bit. Tricky Business. Tricky Business has now run also 2 nice races. Last time out, third behind Drummer Dude, so therefore also behind Fort Love, and they're carrying the same weight, so Fort Love should finish in front of it again. Zulema Stoop delivered the last bad run last time, now coming off a rest of 159 days, I think will need the run. So yes, for First Love, so you can see that, number Tricky Business was about 1.5 lengths or so behind. So therefore, my first choice in this race, Fort Love. So let's go to the next race, which is race number 7. And this is a classified stakes, Class D, merit rated 68. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have 11, Sammy Musa, 4 to 1. Last year, 5 to 1. Bolt Alley, 11 to 2. Tartan Dawes, 8 to 1. Kurt's Approval, Night, 8 to 1. Podcast, 7 to 2. Rabia the Rebel, 10 to 1. And 5th of July, 12 to 1. Bolt Matador, 16 to 1, and longer. So let's have a look at this field. Now, normally on this things, your best way that you'll go on this race, the Rebel, Bolt Alley, Tartan Dance, and Pink Semi Musa. But I've now been following this in this classified stakes, and I've seen very seldom that it works out this way, because what's happening is here, the classified stakes is for horses of a merit rated of 72 and lower. But I see there are horses that's got bigger merit rated, but then they're carrying the higher weight. So in this race, number 7, my first selection is number 11, Sammy Musa. Now, Sammy Musa, I've been following for a while now, and I was strong on him in the last 2 races. His second last race behind Western Dance, he was done. He nearly fell over the rails, couldn't get a run. And then last time, he was looking like the winner, and then Pucker Up came from nowhere to grab him on the line. So hopefully today, the 7-year-old son of this man of daughter of Modus Vivendi, can put it together today. Craig Zaki, he's been running, he's been riding well. So hopefully today he can get Sammy Musa over the line first. Another horse I want to look at is number 10. He's from number 9, Kurt's Approval. Kurt's Approval is also showing signs that he's getting back. And Kurt's Approval have run against some stronger opposition here and there. Here he ran against Awan. Oh, well, although he was 29 lengths behind, he's still running in that race. And wow, they must have been hoping for something. I don't know what, but yeah, really. But anyway, and he's run against Dance Class. Barak has won again. Category 4 won again. Actually surprised me, Category 4 when you won on Saturday. I didn't expect that. So Kurt's Approval is an approval. Nice outsider to put into your selections. And then I want to scroll down to number 15. Last year also Lyle Hewitson drawn 4, well drawn, also running well. Ran just behind Samusa, behind Pucker Up, and I think definitely last year can be a contender in this field. Yeah, very open race. Include as many horses as you can. This is definitely, I would think, this is the most, and this race and race 8 are the two most difficult races on the card. So let's move on to race number 8. Here we have Ferris and Mears handicap 66 over 1600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Number 1, Curvation 9 to 2, 6 to 1, Kimberly Green, 13 to 2, Piccadilly Square, 7 to 1, Feather the Nest, Pretty Jolly, 7 to 1, Charms Luck, 5 to 2, Short Skirt Fruit, 14 to 1, Ponsally, 14 to 1, 14 to 1, Flying North, 20 to 1, and Better the Rest. So let's have a look here. My selections are as follows. I'm going to go down here to number 15. And not number 15, number 16. Now, my selection in this race is Short Skirt Flirt. The average mare rating in this race is 60. And here he ran in a 59 and a 59, only carrying 52.5. And this horse has been improving slowly. Then he ran in a higher division. But here, like in Kimberley, he won with 9 lengths. Definitely not a donkey now. This horse has been improving. Last time on this race behind Ready Set Glow, he was 22.9, 400 to finish. I was watching the race, and this horse was like a last stone, second last all the time. The next moment I saw here's Short Skirt Flirt flying up on the outside. And yeah, he was running on strongly, although beaten 5 lengths, he was running on really well. And I do think that on this long, course will definitely suit him today. 9 to 2, Bill Heeman is bound to have a winner, one or other soon. And also one of the ex-Kimberley trainers that has now have to race against stronger opposition than they normally used to. So I'm giving Short Skirt Flirt a very good chance in this race. Other horses you can have a look at too, as I want to have a look at, is number 9, Kimberly Green. This is Alexander and Swartz. And yeah, I think also having a good chance of being involved in the finish. He's running well last time. Was just beaten on the line of Pretty Jolly. Pretty Jolly also have a chance. There's a small weight advantage in favor of Kimberly Green, so you can be involved in the finish. And here we've got this number 3, Feather and Nest, Bezerin by Announce, now going over a longer distance. Yeah, watch out for this one. This one he did run last Saturday, was about 6 lengths behind. But I do think St. John Gray is not a fool. He won't put this horse over this distance if he's not sure that the horse can do it. So definitely include Feather the Nest in your calculations. Yeah, there are other horses with chances. Let's quickly have a look. Curvation definitely in with a chance. GENIE riding. He's been running against stronger opposition. There he beat Dance Class. Now Dance Class is now, I think, 4 or 5 runs unbeaten. So that will also make him a strong contender. So definitely Curvation to include in all your bets. You cannot leave that horse out. Here we have Hartenkott's Holland. I'm not sure what to make of this horse. Any horse that wins its first race, has got ability. But unfortunately, that was in October 18-1, and then the horse only reappeared here in June 2000. So maybe you will need a few runs, but keep an eye out on this one. Can be a contender. Then Baden Bottas has got these two runners. Yeah, maybe back end of the quartets. Fly North did 1-2 before the race, came back last time, ran on well. So maybe also inclusion in this. If you play a pick six, you're gonna have to go wild in this pick six. Go wide in this pick six. Because lots of horses have chances in this race. So that brings us to the end of our preview. I hope I can have, you know, shown you into the right direction. And as I always say when I sign off, break a leg.